So, how do you know if gold is real or not? There's a couple different ways to tell. You'll have to do multiple tests because there's different factors that you need to look for. The first thing, if you have a magnifier where you can look close up at the metal. Under normal circumstances, you shouldn't see any pitting, like any holes in the metal. It'll have scratches on it because gold is a soft metal, so that's something that we look for. You just kind of learn over time. You know what it looks like under the magnification from exposure. Gold doesn't change, it doesn't pit, so like I said, that's a couple of things that we look for. You want to look for a stamp. Sometimes you'll see stuff that's stamped that's not real, so just be careful. Anything of value will have counterfeits, and gold is included in that. So like I said, first test. And then this is a earth magnet. Gold is not magnetic, so you shouldn't have any sticking or reaction to the magnet. You can use a regular magnet, but this is an earth magnet. It's a little bit stronger, and it's used specifically for jewelry. So just because you put a magnet over it doesn't mean that if it doesn't respond that it's not gold. It just means that it's not magnetic. So if you look up the non-magnetic metals, it'll be one of those metals. And then the final test is always a scratch test. You can purchase one of these stones on Amazon with acid, and it'll tell you if gold is real. It's called a scratch test. So what you do is you'll get a piece of gold, or if you think it's gold, you want to test it to make sure it's gold. You're gonna scratch a little bit on the stone. Just scratch off a little bit of the metal. You want to give it a good scratch. Make sure you get past any overlay. So this is my scratch right here. There's different acids for different carats of gold. This particular ring is it's 10 karat gold, so we'll use the 10K acid. What you're gonna do is you're gonna just put it on the mark, and if it is real gold, the mark will stay. It'll eat up any other metal besides gold. So you can see the mark is still there. So that's the last and final test to make sure it's gold, is this, the acid test. It's the most accurate out of the three for sure. Like I said, there's different acids for different metals and different carats of gold. So if you do order one, just make sure that you have what you need acid wise, depending on what metals you're going to be testing. It works for yellow and white gold. And like I said, under magnification, you just you don't want any pitting. Gold is a metal that doesn't change under normal circumstances very easily. So you want to just look for pitting or any variation in color. You shouldn't see that unless it was in a fire or something out of the ordinary. And then you will see scratches on gold because gold is a soft metal. 10K is going to be the hardest of 10, 14, and 18. It's going to be the hardest and most sturdy because it has more alloy metals mixed that are stronger. 18 karat is going to be softer because there's more gold and less alloy metals. So that's just kind of a standard. And then, like I said, a magnet test. A magnet test, gold is not magnetic, so You won't have any reaction from the magnet if it's gold. But just because it's not magnetic does not mean that it's gold. It just means that it's a non-magnetic metal. I don't know if y'all have any questions, but I am happy to answer them. They also have a test for silver, platinum. All of your major precious metals will have some kind of acid test. It's not just regular acid. You have to have specifically a gold test. Like I said, you can purchase it from Amazon. I don't think they're too expensive, honestly. And then, like I said, our stone test right here. Let me wipe off that acid. The acid will turn your skin yellow, and if you let it sit too long, it'll eat through your skin, so definitely be careful with it. Aren't they pretty? All of these in this tray are going to be white or yellow gold. This is this stone is Mystic Fire, and it's in white gold, as you can see. It's a very pretty setting that it's in. Then you'll have yellow gold. Yellow gold will vary in color a little bit, and that is because of the alloy metals that I was talking about earlier. Gold in its purest form is very soft and almost like Play-Doh, and it's easy to bend. So they add alloy metals to gold for people to be able to wear it. 10K is going to have the most alloy metals. 14K is in the middle, and then 18K will have the least alloy metals and the most gold content. And depending if they mix it like white gold, they'll mix it with like silver, platinum, white metals to make the gold look white. And then yellow gold, sometimes they'll use like copper and darker metals. So if, say, the alloy has more copper in it, it's gonna have, you know, a more coppery color than the other pieces. So gold will vary slightly in color, very slightly, depending on the alloy metal that it's mixed with. But gold, it's just something to think about as an investment. You want to buy it secondhand. The jewelry store, the markup is very significant. It's like 800%. So say if you buy something for $8,000, it's worth about $1,000 at that time. It will appreciate and gain value, but it's going to take you a long time to turn over your money on something that's marked up that high. But you can find gold secondhand at flea markets and pawn shops. There's a lot of secondhand dealers today that deal with gold. So if you're looking to buy, that's your best option if you're looking for an investment. And then it's something that you can wear, and it'll just gain value over time, which is pretty cool. Instead of, you know, buying clothes and shoes and a lot of electronics, things that we waste our money on, if you buy gold, like for instance, I've been buying it for about 10 years now, and it's doubled in price over the 10 years. So it is a good, healthy investment. It's a hard asset. So it's something to think about, definitely. And then you can wear it while you wait for it to gain value and potentially sell it if you want to, or, you know, pass it along to a family member. A lot of people inherit gold. The older generation understands the value of a hard asset versus like currency that can be manipulated and stuff like that. Gold is a worldwide market, so it's not going to be manipulated by one particular country or place, which is good. A lot of the countries that don't have a whole lot of wealth will see gold as more of an asset than maybe people in America would. because of their corrupt system and stuff. The value of gold doesn't get manipulated like their currency does. Let's see what else I have. This is a yellow gold chain. It has white gold accents. So for instance, 5 years ago, I would have had this chain priced at about $500. Today it is priced at $1,000. So that just kind of shows you the gain that you'll get over the years. And like I said, you can wear it in the meantime, which is pretty cool. These are all bracelets. Most of them are silver. A bracelet in gold is just really too heavy to be affordable at this point. You'll see if you like look at pieces over the decades, they've definitely shrunk in size and in weight. They try to hollow everything out now to make it more affordable, but the quality has gone down with the hollowing out of it. So like I said, 5 years ago you could afford a gold tennis bracelet. Today we have to price it so high that we may as well just scrap it and melt it down, to be honest. So that's just kind of how things have changed over the years. Most of these are silver because they're affordable. Like this one is silver with like a gold overlay. This was 80 bucks. This bangle is silver, that is 60. This one has like a little horseshoe connection. It has a little bit of, hold on. It has a little bit of gold right here that they added. It was cute. Mainly silver. This is $99. If it was gold, it would probably cost around $1,000. So that's why people are going to silver for bracelets, because they're heavy. It's a lot of metal. This is silver gents bracelet, 80 bucks. This is opals. They have a lot of fire in them. You see like the color. It's a white stone naturally, but then there's fire in them. It'll be like green, red. People really love opals because of the fire and the stones. It'll vary from stone to stone. None of them will be exactly the same. And then let's see. This is a pretty silver tennis bracelet. This is 80 bucks. If it was gold, it would be, like I said, over $1,000 probably. And this one as well. That's 60. I thought I had some gold bracelets, but I don't. Like I said, they're just so expensive that it'll sit in the case forever because of the price. So we usually just melt it down and scrap it. Let's see, we can test for silver as well. Let's try. Okay, this is supposed to be silver, so we'll double check and make sure. So acid test is what this is called if you're just hopping in. This is a stone that you scratch the metal on. This long mark is going to be the scratch that I just did. And you're going to use a special acid on this for silver. And the mark will turn blue if it's silver. I don't know if you can see it, but the mark is blue, so it's 925 is the stamp that you'll look for in silver. It means 92.5% pure silver. Silver will have some alloy metals in it as well. But that is the marking that you'll look for if you have a magnifier and say like you're a thrifter or you do like estate sales. Getting a magnifying jeweler's loupe like this one will help you out a lot. It's an acquired skill you'll have to learn through exposure, but this will help you find the stamp. If it's gold, it'll have 10, 14, or 18 karat, and then you want to make sure it doesn't say GF or GFE after. GFE stands for gold fill electroplate, so that is like just like a gold overlay. It'll be a bracelet made out of a different metal, but they put like a dip it in gold, so it's a gold overlay. That's why I said whenever you're looking for the stamp, you want to make sure it doesn't say GE or GFE after it, because that is not going to have that much gold value. And then on the silver, you'll see 925. That'll be the standard stamp, which means 92.5% silver. And then sometimes you'll see 585, which is 14. That's pretty rare though, to be honest. You'll usually see 10 or 14 if it's gold. Sometimes if you size a ring, they'll cut out the part that has the stamp because the stamp's usually on the bottom inside of the rim. So sometimes it won't have a stamp on it, but that's also kind of a rare thing unless it's an older ring and it's been sized a lot. So it's something that you might run across. My hairdresser, she's a thrifter, and she found a solid gold rope chain with a scissor pendant because she's a hairdresser, so that's why she actually bought it. But it ended up being, I think she paid $5 for it, and it's worth probably $500 just in scrap gold, you know. So it has more value because it's not scrap, it's a piece that you can wear. But always pay attention if you're a thrifter, or if you do estate sales. Sometimes you can find gold at a good price. We do have rings. Let me grab another box and I can show you guys some. These are some mainly diamond rings in white and yellow gold. And the visual difference between white and yellow, I'm sorry, white gold and silver. White gold is going to have some shine. You can see it's not going to be matte. It's going to have like a shiny finish. Silver is going to, when you buy it new, it'll look like white gold, all polished and stuff. But over time, it will get matte in the finish. The finish won't be lustrous and shiny anymore unless it's repolished. So like if someone hands me a ring, I can usually tell if it's white or yellow gold just from the finish. Sometimes like a brand new silver ring, I'll think it's white gold until I look at the center. Like I said, you'll look in the inside rim. It's usually on the bottom. Sometimes it'll be on the the head of the ring, but it's usually on the bottom. And there'll be a stamp that says 10 or 14, or if it's silver, it'll say 925. So that's something to look for. But for the most part, silver will, like the bracelets I just showed you, have like a more matte finish versus a shiny finish. See, white gold, still shiny though. This is an antique waterfall ring. Hi everyone, thank you guys for watching. If y'all have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to give you guys the knowledge that I do have if you're questioning anything. Let's see. These are silver. You see how the finish is not real shiny? It's more like a matte finish. Like I said, this I could tell just by looking at it that it's silver. This piece wasn't, this is silver, but it wasn't worn much. So it's still perfectly polished. So it looks very similar to white gold. I could tell just because I'm used to it, but it's something that most people, you know, would question. If it's white gold or silver, it's hard to tell to the naked eye for most people. I'm just, you know, like I said, I've been exposed to it so much, I know what I'm looking for. This is a cool antique Native American piece. These are handmade. You want to look for like any imperfection. Anything that's made by a machine is going to be perfect. Anything made by a machine is going to be perfect. Anything handmade will have variations. It's not going to be completely perfect. So that's a good way to tell, like if turquoise is genuine and handmade. You want to look for, like I said, along like the rim right here on the ridges. If it was made by a machine, it would be perfect, but this one's not. So this one's handmade for sure. But that's one way to kind of tell on these Native American pieces. Like I said, you can see that edging right there. So that's one thing to look for. All these pieces are usually made of silver, and this is turquoise, which is a very common stone that they use in Native American jewelry. And like these two. Okay, this is a good example. A real diamond will usually look similar to something like this. This one's not real, but you see like the color difference. A CZ will usually reflect like color or rainbow. That's a good telltale sign that the stone is not a genuine diamond. A diamond will look more like this, even though this is a CZ, but the color comparison is nice, and it's a big stone so you could see it. So anything with a rainbow reflection, you want to try to stay away from. Diamonds will have flaws in them from nature. They'll have different mineral deposits. So if you look at like this stone underneath magnification, it's perfect. There's no inclusion, no flaw, because it was poured in a mold and it's man-made. Like I said, anything natural will have flaws, so it's kind of like the handmade jewelry. You want to see the flaws of nature to verify that it could be a genuine stone. And just because it looks like a diamond doesn't necessarily mean that it is. There is moissanite, which is a natural stone that looks like diamond, and it's actually almost as hard as diamond. So the diamond tester that we use will pick up a moissanite. The naked eye, it would be very hard to tell the difference between a moissanite and a diamond. These are some more silver pieces. Okay, so let's go over what we learned. Okay, let's see. This turquoise piece is slightly suspicious to me because the stone is so flat. It doesn't mean that it's not a genuine stone, but more than likely they'll have some kind of like bulk or bulge of a stone. Okay, and then the metalwork that we talked about. What do you guys think? This one is handmade or not handmade? The handmade stuff will have imperfections. The machine-made stuff will be perfect. The edging on this, you see, is perfect. So this is more than likely not handmade. It's a man-made ring, so it won't hold that much value. They'll make, like I said, fakes of anything that has value, including the Native American jewelry. Okay, so then this one. You guys think it's real? Well, handmade or not handmade? This one. This one is not perfect, the edging. They did a really good job. Whoever made it was very precise, but there is some flaws in here, which that would not be the case if it was machine made. So this one is handmade also. Let's see. What about this one? This one's looking definitely handmade. You see how the little like outside edges are not all exactly the same? They would be exactly the same if it was made by machine. So this is handmade. You can even tell by like this in the back. That's gonna be genuine turquoise for sure, and a handmade piece. More than likely they won't make a handmade piece and put all that work into it if the stone isn't genuine. So that's a good way to tell on the Native American jewelry. It's a good rule of thumb. This stone, I don't know if anyone's familiar, but it is very common in Native American jewelry as well. It's like a coral color. It might actually be some type of coral stone. I'm not really positive, so I don't want to say for sure. Let's see. This one is handmade for sure. It's a very slight differences in the edge, but there are some. So as I said, anything made by a machine is going to be perfect, including man-made stones. So man-made stones will look like they don't have any flaws, but if it doesn't have a flaw, almost 99.9% of the time that it means it's not a genuine stone. So this is another pretty piece. I don't think it fits me though. And then they have the turquoise with the coral stone. Let's see what I... Handmade for sure. It's amazing all the work that people put into these things. It takes a lot of skill and time and precision. It's like I said, it's really a work of art. And that's why, another reason why jewelry is so expensive. You know, gold is expensive, precious metals are expensive, but all the work that has to go into the piece is also, you know, calculated into the price naturally. And then jewelry stores, they have a big markup, but you know, they're probably only selling maybe a piece or two a day on a good day. So it's just something to think about. You know, jewelers do work really hard. It is a acquired skill. The older the jeweler is, usually the more precise and better skills that they have overall. That's definitely handmade. You can see all the imperfections and the little circles that make up the flower. And this is like braided, thin pieces of silver. It's a cool piece. And that one too, that's definitely handmade.